Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning into this 250 Supercross Roundtable from Houston following the second round of the Monster Energy Supercross Championship 250 East. We got John Short, Max Bolin, Michael Mosman, RJ Hampshire, and Josh Osby joining us, and, of course, the Supercross media. I want to start this one for RJ. You've had some good starts. You've been up there, but had some issues, obviously, this last race with Austin Faulkner, the first round. Had the washout, so a little bit of chaos, some falls. But overall, are you happy with the way you're riding, or is there things that you can try to improve before Saturday? Is that even possible with the format we have now?
I mean, yeah, I think just taking these next couple of days to really kind of recover. I was pretty beat up from round one, and plus had to get stitches in right after the main event. So yeah, I mean, coming into last night, I mean, I felt like I was in a pretty good spot, just kind of managing that main event, and then yeah, just kind of all went south. But I mean, I feel like we're close. My starts are good. Just keep putting myself in the situations to, be able to at least battle for a win. It's kind of my goal from here on out, and I think each time you get there, you keep getting better at it. You get more comfortable, so it'll continue to get better.
Awesome. I'm going to kick things off with Mitch Kendra, Racer X.
Hey, Mitch Kendra, Racer X. Can you guys hear me?
Gotcha.
All right, we'll just start with Max real quick. Inside the top 10, are you hitting your expectations? What are your thoughts on how the transition's gone so far and how everything's been?
Yeah, so far that was the goal coming into the first round, and I ended up getting ninth, which was great. I just had some bad starts in the first round, which we were able to clean up for last Tuesday, and ended up getting one position more. So if I can just keep making those steps forward, and that'll be good for me and the team.
Cool. And then what's the team's feedback? Obviously, they don't want you to overdo it too soon. What are they, trying to keep her cool and just, like I said, progress, but you don't want to go too fast, but you don't want to just be, stale. How are you trying to balance that? Has that been tough? And what's the feedback from the team been like?
Well, they pretty much have the same expectations we had, so it's been really nice. They haven't been putting a lot of pressure on me, and they haven't, been like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. Just go out there, do your thing. And they just what they want to see is they want to keep seeing improvement. And so far, that's what I've been doing. So we're just going to try and stick to it.
Cool, thanks.
Dark side, Moto X Pod.
I'll go to John Short first, one of our Texas boys. The RX Suzuki ride kind of came together late, not a lot of time on the bike, but you're really doing well on the thing. You're right there, top 10-ish. How'd that come together, and how do you feel about the bike, and what can you improve?
Yeah, I like the bump motorcycle. I only had about 8 days of riding it before we came into the series. So pretty much every practice, every race, I'm kind of learning the bike, getting more comfortable. And so I'm just trying to have steady progress every time I throw my leg over it, and just keep chipping away, try and get closer up to the front, work on my starts. And I think that helped a lot, run up front.
All right. Osby, I'm going to go with you, man. Haven't seen you in here before, so it's really great to have you on. Another guy that's kind of, you don't necessarily talk about a lot, but it seems so far to have first couple races really good. Same thing to you, man. Like, what can you improve with a team like that and to get better, maybe get into the mix?
Weekend one for me was super good. I felt really good on the bike and just really comfortable, which is awesome. Obviously, the first race jitters are always there, so – Tuesday just didn't feel comfortable all day. I was struggling with a little arm pump, and just really wasn't that comfortable. So to end with 10th, I was really happy about that. For me, it's just going to be getting comfortable and not like putting so much pressure on myself. I think it's as easy as the track looked. Even watching film, it was very demanding, and I think I kind of let that get to me a little bit, just trying to go for it too much. So just getting comfortable and letting the day come to me and not forcing the day. So, I love my bike. Everything's awesome as far as that goes. So it's really on me to just kind of let the day come to me and not force it so much.
Appreciate it.
Jason Wygant, Racer X.
Yeah, for John Short, could you just talk about, is this like an upgrade? You've generally been on privateer teams. Is there a huge difference, huge gains? What's the experience been like being on a team of this caliber?
It was pretty unique to me to be able to go out to California, for a few weeks before the season and work with Larry Brooks. And that whole experience was new to me, and it brought a little confidence, coming into the season, having a guy like Suzuki and everybody backing me. As far as at the races go, we've got all the equipment we need. We're out of a box van, and we've got a mechanic. So it is pretty low key, and it kind of takes the pressure off. So it's a pretty good environment to be in, I think, for myself.
Do you find yourself, though, feeling some pressure? This is a step-up ride for you. So do you want to perform, especially in Supercross? Because we've seen results outdoors. Do you really want to prove it to stay here or keep progressing?
Yeah, I feel like for me to have that opportunity to get on good equipment or better equipment, and I have to make it happen, improve my results, and get closer to the front if I want to keep this ride and keep moving forward. For sure.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
Michael Antonovich, Swap Moto Live.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I'll go to Michael Mosman. These tracks, we're 2 races in, same dirt, same layout for the most part and everything. But the extra time that the dirt had in the stadium, did you feel like it changed? Was it drier, a little bit firmer than it was a few days ago? Or was it still, hey, it's going to break down because there are so many laps that we're putting into the track every lap or every moto?
Right. I think it firmed up quite a bit. I was pretty impressed. Even just like some of the rhythm sections, you still got the ruts, but they weren't quite as deep. They didn't change quite as much. In the rhythm sections, you didn't see a lot of, side to side. It wasn't maybe a ton different. I think they did a pretty good job keeping the moisture in throughout the week to definitely keep it that soft Houston clay. But it did harden up a little bit.
Cool. Next question is for RJ Hampshire. You being down at the Baker's factory, you're within that Marvin, Cooper, Zacho group. So you're riding with 450 guys all the time. Is that reflected in your riding style in the 250 class when you're racing, or is it so different that you can't really apply that because there are so many young kids and so much high energy and aggression and things happening all at once?
No, I think it's just kind of a whole combination of riding with faster guys every day and just being able to learn from them as much as we can. You're going to race the same guys on the weekend, so it doesn't really necessarily affect, how you're going to ride. But I definitely think it improves kind of all around. And but still, nothing like getting out there and actually racing against the guys on the weekends. You just continue to learn each time you put yourself in that situation.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Alex Gobert.
Thanks, Daniel. Alex Gobert, MotoOnline.com. I'll start with RJ. What was your take on the incident with Faulkner?
Yeah, it was stupid. I think you would agree. That was pretty dumb. It was rushed. I didn't see it coming at all. And, yeah, he went down with me. So kind of proves right there that I really wasn't too smart of a pass. But, yeah, we still want to be in this thing. So kind of what comes around goes around. And I'm sure we'll have a moment again here.
And second question for Max Voland. What would you say, you're in the unique position that your first 2 Supercross races have come within the space of a few days. So, what would be the biggest things that you've learned so far?
Well, yeah, the way the schedule is for me, at least, it's a learning year and I'm learning a lot, but it does suffer a little bit where you can't go back to the test track and, work on the bike, or maybe you work on yourself for conditioning. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but it's also great to be racing so constantly and learning so much. And the main thing is just learning these guys' speed. Like this is pretty much like my first 2 actual pro races. So I'm just really learning what these guys are doing and trying to suck into, their speed and try and do what they do.
Okay, great. Thank you guys for coming on.
Steve Mathis, Purple Mix. You got to unmute.
I can't believe I was that guy. Damn. All right. Question for Michael Mosman and also Max Voland. First up, Michael, thanks for coming on. So obviously you rode Rockstar Husky the last few years. Now you're on the TLD team. Do you just put red plastic on your race bike? What do you notice, if anything, different about this bike? Did you just run your settings from last year? Just kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a switch, and the change has been more than I anticipated. It's been like a lot bigger change than I expected. The bike was lighter, and it had been a little bit, from one bike to the next. I took a good amount of time off in between, so you know the similarities, but it wasn't quite as fresh. And then also it was a lot faster, and so the handling was different, a bit less engine brake, and so yeah, I've had to adapt some, but there's definitely obviously similarities, and I've gone actually a pretty significant different route. I've gone a lot stiffer this year, suspension wise, and so it is a different setup and it's a different feel. And then the Akrapovic pipe, I really like the power delivery. It's really smooth and it's always just like right there when you need it. So it's a different feel, but obviously.
Revista Moto.
Hey, thank you. Hey, I have a question for Max. Could you talk a little bit about your age and how you're able to maintain your composure at despite your young age at 17, and when most 17-year-olds are not in a Supercross track in a major national stadium? Could you talk a little bit about that experience and how you managed to maintain or calm your emotions in that moment?
A great positive thing that I have behind me is my dad, who's been racing he raced for many years. So he has a lot of experience, and he has prepped me and groomed me to be a smart racer and rider, and not to take too much risk, because especially at the stage I'm at now, being young and being out here with these big guys, it's super easy to get over your head, make a mistake, go down, and then you're out. So that's the really thing that we've always focused on, is risk management. And so far it's gotten me to where I'm at now, and I'm grateful for it. And yeah, I'm just going to try and stay healthy and keep racing these guys.
Thank you. And Daniel, if I could, one last question for the privateers. Could you talk a little bit on the limitations of not having the factory access to parts and material? What limitations do you have when you're at a off-site or out of your comfort home track for a week or so? Does that limit your ability to get parts or to practice or just to keep your momentum or fluidity for the week?
Go ahead, John.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it definitely makes it difficult when you're traveling and you've got one motorcycle, your practice bikes across the country, and, you've got a couple sets of handlebars and, a spare motor and stuff. If you don't have everything just ready to go, organized, it does make it difficult, but I feel like where I'm at, I've got most everything I need to get it done on the weekend.
Go ahead, Josh Osby.
Honestly, we're in a pretty good position over here. I know we're not factory, but yeah, I've got a pretty good program. Pretty much access to do what we want. So obviously, like John said, it's a little bit different than a box fan. But now the Enzo's hurt, which is unfortunate. I've got like a whole crew of people here to help. So we're pretty much on pace to do whatever we want, which is a huge blessing.
Thank you.
Steve Mathis, come back to you.
Yeah, just question back for Max. What has Lone Wolf said for these two first races? Is he happy? Is he yelling at you? What's been your dad's response to your two main events?
Yeah, he's been happy. He hasn't really been against. If anything, he's the most happy about it, because he wants to see me do good, and he knows the strategy and our plan for the future. So we're I think everyone's happy. We haven't really been yelled at by anyone yet, so we're just going to keep chugging along and keep doing our thing.
Okay, thank you.
We're going to loop back around and get a few more if you want. For the media, let me know if you want back in. But I have a question just for all 5 of you. The East and the West Coast are obviously different this year. Are you happy with the decision, or maybe it wasn't your decision, to ride this first coast where you're going to have these first 6 in 3 weeks? Because once we go to the West, it kind of spreads itself back out there until we get to Atlanta. But are you happy with the decision that you rode East with the format, and now that we've been 2 races in and knowing that 4 races are coming here in the next 2 weeks? And John Short, I'll start with you.
Yeah, the team really wanted me to race East, and I'm happy with the decision. I've never raced in Houston as of late, and man, the dirt's awesome, the track's cool, so it's gonna be cool to get 6 races right out of the way, and then have some time to reevaluate before Utah. So yeah, I couldn't be happier. I'm enjoying every bit of it.
RJ.
Probably a little different for me right now, just since I'm trying to recover from injuries, which, I mean, you only had 2 days before you were back racing after that first round. So, I mean, it just depends on your situation and what you got going on. I mean, it's great if you're on a roll, and it's not great if you're not.
Is the stitches and that, I mean, is that affecting you? Obviously, I mean, I know it obviously is, but is it affecting you enough to where the other format with that extra week would have been a big benefit for you?
Yeah, for sure, because I would have got my stitches out before I went racing, but my hand was already pretty beat up from Saturday. I mean, only 2 days after getting stitches, and I mean, it wasn't a small cut. Like, I had to get 7, but the thing was completely gashed open, and when I tried to race that main event Saturday, it ripped it open even more, so my whole glove was pretty much full of blood. But hey, I mean, we're all dealt with the same thing. Just kind of got to suck it up and try to improve at the next one.
Michael Mosman.
I'm thankful for the decision we made. I feel pretty good about it. I like being able to race a lot, and the Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday format really just allows me to get kind of like engaged, and it's not like a fresh thing every week. I really enjoy that. It becomes common going after with these guys, and I think a lot of these guys touched on it, that every time you're out there and you're in the mix, you're learning, and it also gets more comfortable. And so the shorter it is in between, the more comfortable you are. As well as, I considered going to the other coast. I think our coast is absolutely stacked. It's pretty dang deep. And so I think the other coast probably would have been maybe easier. But I was like a little bit wishing I had some more time to prepare. But we were like, man, it's only like 3 weeks to prepare. So 3 weeks extra anyways. It's not a big amount of time. So yeah, I'm pleased.
And Max, I know you've talked about the strategy in place and getting a lot of these races in quick, but going back, say, a month, were you cool and are excited and happy to do this first coast? I mean, before you knew who was on it, I mean, have you been happy with that decision from the beginning?
Well, yeah, the original goal was to do the second coast, so I had more learning time, of course, but so far it's been great. I've had good heat races and pretty good mains, so I'm pretty happy with how I'm at right now. It is a little bit unfortunate that they're so close, so you can only make small improvements instead of going back and making big improvements. But that's all I really need right now. I just need to keep improving, and so far it's been going great. So I'm happy.
Josh, how about you? Would that extra time have helped, or were you pretty much ready to go from the get-go?
Yeah, I think like RJ said it. I mean, it kind of depends on the circumstances coming into it. But for me, I had plenty of time coming in riding, and I think it's nice to go racing right now for me because you wait so long to go racing, it can kind of get not monotonous and old, but you just ride Supercross for so long before you go racing that I feel like right now the motivation's there, and I'm happy. I'm happy with the choice we made.
Michael Antonovich.
This one's for Josh Osby as well. You didn't do the Outdoor Nationals. Club MX, who you rode for last year, was a Supercross only team. So you had this massive gap from late May until now to get going. How has it been to go into rapid fire 2 races within 4 days? Did it allow you the time to get re-familiar with everything, or has it been a little bit of a rush because you didn't have a lot of time to regroup and think about what would go on from day to day?
Yeah, absolutely. Good question. I did sit around for a long time. Was training off the bike, but for a while there, I wasn't even sure what I was going to do as far as the ride goes. So once I figured that out, I've been back training at Club MX, and our group there is just so good. Like, there's so many good guys, and I'm sure like somebody like RJ, who's got a good group, can say the same thing. But when you train with such a good group, it's like a race day every single day. So I think for me, I was pretty prepared with what to expect, and like being familiar with the intensity. So I think when you're practicing by yourself, you can kind of get lost and not really know what to expect. But yeah, I was really happy with where we're at with coming in, just riding with all the people I was riding with. So yeah, it was pretty good to go, I think.
Cool. My last question is for Michael Mosman. Similar predicament for you because you missed pretty much the whole summer with your concussion, but then to get that heat race win last night was a nice statement. How does it feel to know, like, hey, I'm back at the front of the field, I can cut laps with every guy, run the pace, and after so much time away?
You know what? I didn't even consider that because I never really doubted, my abilities. Really, it's only like the first week of Supercross when you get back on, you're like, oh, cool. I can't hit the triple. Like, it looks pretty huge once you're off for a little bit, but once you get back in it, like, I never doubted, that I was going to be competitive and that I was going to be good. Sometimes you hear other people or, different people saying like, oh, this or that, or, you're going to be this. It's like, and then you go to the track and you're riding with, some of the best guys like Anderson and Webb and Barsha and stuff. And it's like, no, like I'm pretty dang good at this. So I really had no concerns that I was going to be back to race shape.
Thanks, guys.
Jason Wygant.
Yeah, I'd like to ask Short and Osby about, you had an awesome battle. So John, I'll start with you, and then maybe Josh, you can talk about your side. But you guys were going at it yesterday.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun when you're racing with someone like Josh, who I've grown up racing, and it's clean, hard racing. It makes the main event go by a lot quicker, that's for sure. We traded positions multiple times, and I got a little sketchy there after one of our position swaps. So no, it was good. We bumped fist after the race, and I hope the fans enjoyed it.
Cool. What about you, Josh? What was your take on that battle?
Yeah, like you said, we bumped fist after, and I've been racing John for a long time, and it's fun to race and not worry about somebody just absolutely clobbering you. We had so many position swaps, and it was fun. Like you said, it makes the main event go by fast, and I had a blast, so I'm all good with it.
Cool. One more for RJ. I know obviously your goal coming into this, you'd like to win the championship. Now the points are a little bit messed up, and you're still looking for that first Supercross win. So have you changed the strategy now to just go for a win at all costs? Are you thinking you can scratch your way back into the points? What's the goal now?
Yeah, goal's still the same thing, is just be there every weekend. Both main events so far, I feel like I didn't kind of overdo it, or, I wasn't really off pace. Christian was definitely faster at round one. But then I was right there with the rest of the four guys. And then last night, Jet, he had the speed. He was faster than everybody else, you could tell. Once again, I was right there with, those other four guys. So I have no doubt that, my time's going to come. It's just going to have to be in there, put myself in those situations again where, I'm out front and, just try not to get cleaned out, I guess. I don't really know what I could have done different in that main event, rather than, I didn't really watch it open. So like I said, just get out front, get in that situation, and, put a solid main event together.
How did you control yourself? Like, you just got up from the crash. You didn't yell or try to get any revenge or anything like that. Did you have to tell yourself, like, take a deep breath and just chill?
Yeah, I'm kind of under a corporation right now, so I don't know if they would have been too happy with anything. But, dude, my whole side was burnt. I got hit with his tire, so it ripped my side up pretty good. Yeah, I would have liked to tackle him or really kind of seen him after. But, man, just sometimes it's like, all right, it was stupid. He has to know it was stupid. I don't know if he was even really thinking much coming in like that. But like I said, we have 7 races left now, so just try to claw myself back and hopefully once we get that first win, they start coming easier.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Dark Side, Moto X Pod.
All right, Michael Mosman, with the new team, new teammates, having some time riding with Justin Barsha, a little bit different technique than you have usually. You picked anything up that, may help you in the future when you need some aggression? Has he taught you anything? Just ride with him. You see anything that you can learn from?
I would say balance. I've ridden together and motos together, and he's scored me a few times, and we've ridden close, and we've done we did starts into a turn instead of just down a straightaway, and we practiced close, nothing 30. I think one time he put me in a moto, and then I.
Kind of losing you there, Michael. We'll come back to that. Dark Side, you got another one?
Yeah, I got one for Max. With your deal, you got a 3-year deal, a little bit of an extended deal. Does that take a lot of pressure off you this year so that you can focus on just learning? And even though you're doing really well right now, are you able to maintain that this is a learning season, not just, maybe cross that line of aggressiveness?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now when I go out to the line and I don't feel any pressure. I feel just okay, let's go race and let's have fun, but let's also do good. So, I'm still serious about it. I'm still focused, wanting to go out and do good, but the pressure's off, and it makes it so much easier to stay calm and stay cool and not go over my head and make a mistake.
All right, thanks.
Alex Gobert.
Is Moserman there, or it's not working?
May have lost him.
Yeah. No, I'm good then. Thanks.
Okay. Last one, Revista Moto.
Thank you. RJ, could you talk a little bit about your injuries and how, from last night and last Saturday, what you'll do between now and the next race, and will those injuries weigh on you come this Saturday, the next race? How do you put that into sort of the back side when you're about to race again in a few days?
Yeah, I think it's just do everything I can. My stitches should come out either Friday or Saturday morning, so that eliminates one of them. But I got another thing on my hand now from just last night's, and then the burn down my side, I'm hoping it's kind of scabbed over a little bit before Saturday, so then it really won't come into too much of effect. Other than that, it's mainly just scrapes and bruises. So I did hit my head a little bit, again last night. But like I said, we have a couple days now just to kind of chill, and I think I'll be good just as long as I have my strength back in my hand. Just want to be battling again.
Thank you.
Alex Gobert, Michael Mosman is back on if you want to get that last one in.
Okay, yeah, thanks. For Michael, we've seen you on the podium a couple of times before, including the showdown last year. So last night we saw you win a heat race. How much does that add to the confidence, the belief that, you can be up there? It's confidence is a big thing in this game.
Most definitely that adds to it. Just getting that and crossing the checkered, first, and it's yeah, I can do this. And my speed's been good. I think we really found something yesterday. A lot more confident in my bike and through the whoops, and just finding a little bit, finding myself really, just being able to ride consistent laps. So I've been really pleased. I'm excited. I think we're heading the right direction. Everyone was saying a step in the right direction. I was saying 3 steps because I went from 7th last week to 4th. So yeah, I think just keep making steps, and we're going to be there in no time. I think really with a good start is the next step, and that is something that I am quite confident in. So we're on our way.
Right on. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and enjoy the next couple days off. We'll see you on Saturday.